consequences. After I was released from prison for the last time in 2014, I discovered the process to have my convictions dismissed and all of my rights restored, including my Second Amendment rights. Since achieving this for myself in 2018, our attorney has assisted over 3,000 others in doing the same. If you are still living under the consequences of past mistakes and would like to restore your rights as I have, visit RestoreMyCivilRights.com and book a free consultation today.
At the Phoenix Zoo, we are scaly things and furry things. We are fast things and slow things. Tall things and short things. We are huge things and very, very small things. We are things from right here in Arizona and things from all over the world. We are thousands of living, breathing mammals, reptiles, birds, insects, fish, and amphibians that you absolutely have to see. Phoenix Zoo, that zoo we are. For tickets, hours, and many more things, visit phoenixzoo.org.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
It's Truck Month at Tim Hovick's Santan Ford. F-150s, Lightnings, Super Duties. Right now, get 0 down, 0% financing for 60 months, and 0 payments for 90 days. That's a brand new Ford truck from Santan Ford with nothing out of pocket. Nobody in Arizona beats Tim Hovick on truck deals. Nobody. We've got the inventory, we've got the financing, and we're moving metal. Truck Month is on, and when they're gone, they're gone. Tim Hovick's Santan Ford in Gilbert or santanford.com. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
What would you do if you could multiply your cash? Would you multiply your vacations? Multiply your relaxation? Or multiply your celebrations? With multiplier scratchers from the Arizona Lottery, you can multiply all the good things like vacations, relaxation, and celebrations. Play multiplier scratchers for over $270 million in prizes and multiply your fun. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
That's right. The Monday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060, streaming on the free KDUS AM 1060 app, and you can hang out with us on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube channel. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you today on the show. Producer Evan, a thumbs up on the weekend, a good weekend?
Good weekend, a lot of basketball this weekend.
Did you get any golf in?
No golf this weekend.
Interesting. I thought for sure you would try to sneak in some golf with the cooler weather kind of coming around the corner.
So I was going to.
See, I knew it.
But, next weekend it's in the 80s.
So you were looking ahead a little bit.
I got my brother in town. Maybe we'll sneak out and play some golf.
Okay, so no golf this weekend.
But maybe next weekend.
Because before you know it, it's going to be 110, and you're going to have to get that 6 a.m. tee time, or else you missed it. You might as well just stay at home at that point.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. A date night with the wife on Saturday.
Nice.
Did a lot of housekeeping yesterday. It was a quieter weekend, enjoying the basketball like you mentioned. And speaking of basketball, it's felt like forever since I've been able to do this. I have the red Sharpie. It wasn't all great over the weekend, but at least the last thing we saw from the Phoenix Suns was a win. So that's where we'll start today's program.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
That's right. The red Sharpie is back. We haven't used it since March 12th, where they beat Indiana 11 days ago. But we will add a W against Toronto last night. It was a split of the weekend for the Phoenix Suns. It started with their losing streak extending with a loss on Saturday to the Milwaukee Bucks that, let's just be honest, continued most of the same trends that we have seen during that losing streak. And then it was a dismantling last night of the Toronto Raptors, jumping on them from the word go, having a big, massive lead at halftime, and they took care of business to win by 22, 120-98 over the Toronto Raptors. And, oh, by the way, continuing a trend of when Jordan Ott and the Phoenix Suns see a team for the second time in a season, they usually play better. The last time they played Toronto was March 13th. They lost that game. That's what started this losing streak. They win last night against Toronto. So credit to them for having that bounce back performance, and credit to them for having exactly the type of game that they needed to have. They needed that type of game just to snap the losing streak, but also to maybe, I think, remind many of us of what this team is still capable of. All last week, we spent a lot of time on this show talking about the fourth quarter collapses. Rasheer Fleming with the 2 missed free throws, by the way, thought he played great last night. The blown lead to Boston, going the final 5 minutes without scoring a basket in that game, getting outscored with a 10-point lead in San Antonio. That's what we spent all of our week last week talking about. The fourth quarter collapses, the big leads that they built against Boston, against Minnesota, against San Antonio, and they weren't able to finish the deal. And we talked about the reasons why that may be the case. We pointed to they've got a lot of injuries, no Dylan Brooks, no Mark Williams, no Grayson Allen, no Royce O'Neal. So maybe we should give the team the benefit of the doubt. But these losses, they just kept stacking up, and they were good enough to have these big leads in the first place, but they just weren't able to finish. That's what we spent all of last week talking about. And I will tell you, when Saturday came and went, I thought, I know exactly how we're starting Monday's show. Just a continuation. The losing streak was going to grow to 6, because after Saturday, did you feel like they were going to beat Toronto last night? And did you feel like they were going to beat Toronto the way that they beat Toronto? No, you thought losing streak's going to go to 6, and we're going to have to start Monday's show with, are we panicking? I mean, is it time to officially panic about the Phoenix Suns with, 10 games to go in the regular season? That's how I felt Saturday. Well, Sunday comes around. They win the game last night. They handle Toronto comfortably. By the way, Toronto, no slouch. Milwaukee was the slouch of the weekend. Toronto, top 6 seed in the East. And you took care of them like it was just a run-of-the-mill game against Utah or Washington or Brooklyn. That's how you treated that game last night. Good. We needed that. Now, here is where I want to start today's program. And I don't know if producer Evan feels the same way that I do. So he'll check me if he disagrees. But last night didn't really change the big picture for me. It was good. Listen, I feel a lot better today being able to break out the red Sharpie. I feel a lot better today not talking about a 6-game losing streak. I feel a lot better today not talking about another blown fourth quarter lead. But I still have a concern level about this team as we are closing in on the final 10 games. They have not looked anywhere close to the team that we saw through the first couple of months of the season. I think from February onward, they have looked like a different team. And I still feel kind of uneasy as we go in to the play, because they're not chasing down the 6 seed. They're 10 games to go. I think it's a 4.5 game lead for the 7 seed. They're pretty locked in to where they're going to be. And so now everything is a ramp up to that game either against the Clippers or against Portland, right? You are ramping up to 1 game win, and you're the 7 seed, and you're facing San Antonio. And we talked about it on Friday's show about how you've played this San Antonio team competitively. So if you can get your mojo back, if you can get your groove back, you have a chance to be really competitive in that series. You have a chance to be spunky. You have a chance to force San Antonio to earn it, right? So we talked about on Friday, even after the loss to San Antonio, 4 games, you've beat them twice. You were competitive in the game last night. If you're able to match up with them in the postseason, you're going to be able, I think, to have a good showing. But you got to get there. You have to be confident going in to that play-in game, either against LA or against Portland. You then have to win it to make sure you're not drawing Oklahoma City in the first round. And right now, as we sit here, after they split over the weekend, they snapped a losing streak, yes. We get to break out the red Sharpie, yes. Yesterday is not enough to make me feel better. Yesterday is not enough for me to say, you know what, I'm going to forget about the previous 5 games where you look like a lost basketball team. It's not enough. And so they've got 10 games to go, and we're going to talk about this in hour number 2 of the program. What is the most important thing over these next 10 games, because I think there's two things you can bring up. You can bring up the health of the team, and you can bring up the confidence of the team. So I want to debate that in hour number 2. Which of those two things is more important with 10 games to go? Again, the good news, they snapped the losing streak. Perhaps this is what turns the corner, but yesterday is not enough. Even though they won by 22, even though it was convincing from the word go, it is not enough to just make us like the pen in Men in Black, where they click it and your memory wipes. I can't wipe my memory of the previous 5 games where they looked like a completely lost basketball team, especially in crunch time.
We can't forget not only what has happened over the last 10 days of 10 games, but really the month of February as well, right? Like, it's been a stretch here of a lot of inconsistent basketball for a month and a half, almost 2 months now.
Yeah, I mean, you go 4-7 in the month of February, where they couldn't stack together anything. I mean, all 4 of their wins were individual one-offs. They didn't put together any winning streak in the month of February. And then March rolls around and they have their worst losing streak of the entire season, where they just get off of losing 5 in a row. And the 6 seed was right there for them to take. They walked into that Minnesota game. A win got them within 1 game of the 6 seed. A loss put them 3 back. They lost that game. They didn't finish it in the fourth quarter. And we've all now resigned ourselves to the fact that they are not going to draw into that top 6. They are going to be destined to be the 7 seed. And now you're just trying to be healthy and ready to go for that game, whoever you play. And it wasn't that long ago that was the conversation we were having. Despite the terrible February, despite the rough March, it was all still there in front of them because of how well they played at the beginning of the season. But they just haven't looked like that team in a really long time.
Not at all. Not at all. And so it's been a lot of inconsistent basketball, and you're just trying to get healthy. You got to get healthy. So
yeah, they're missing Dylan Brooks. They're missing Mark Williams. They're missing Grayson Allen. They're missing Royce O'Neal. They're just missing a lot of the key ingredients that have made this team, now with the win yesterday, a 40-plus win basketball team, right? I mean, those 4 players, vitally important to how good this season has gone for this team, and to not have all of them during this last couple of game stretch, you are seeing just how far the Suns have to go after this year to close the gap between them and the other teams in the Western Conference. I do think this is serving as a reminder of, yes, this has exceeded all of our expectations. Yes, this has been a mostly joyful ride that we have enjoyed and we're going to continue to enjoy in the play-in and in what is hopefully an eventual playoff series, right? We're going to enjoy this entire ride. But I do think these 4 players being out, the depth, the inexperience, the youth of this team kind of being exposed over the last couple of weeks is showing you just how far they have to go and how the job is just starting for Brian Gregory, for Jordan Ott to turn this franchise around.
Yeah, they have a long way to go still on this thing.
And I think this little stretch here where they've been without these guys,
it shows.
This is where it shows that they're better than expected. They're moving in the right direction, but there is still a lot of work to do to put them on the same level as a Minnesota, as a Houston, as a Denver, as a San Antonio, as those teams. But
they are still a 40-win basketball team,
right?
Where Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker, and Jalen Green have played 5 games together.
Right. It's been a handful of games that those 3 have been on the floor together. And I think if you would have told me before the year that those 3 were only going to play a handful
5 games, I would have told you 25. We won 25
right.
games.
We would be sweating out the 30.5 win total that we said they were going to fly past at the beginning of the year. Right? We said no doubt they're going to fly past that number.
We thought they
would
beat that number being healthy.
Right.
They flew past it never being healthy.
Right.
Never being at 100%.
Which is impressive, and that's why the health is going to be very important here the rest of the season. 10 games to go. Back in action tomorrow night. They'll take on Denver at home. They've got 2 more here on this homestand, Denver and Utah, before they'll go on a little mini road trip to close out March and to begin the month of April. But it was a split of the weekend. The loss on Saturday is just so brutal, right? I mean, because if you win that game, it doesn't change much. They're locked into the 7th seed at this point. But to lose that game and for it to be a continuation of the backdrop of the previous 4 games where you have a lead, you have a chance to close things out, and you just are lost as a team. It was just brutal. Saturday was so brutal.
And yesterday, you get through Saturday and you're like, come on. And you get into yesterday. I'm listening in the car on my way home from here, actually. ASU baseball. Nice series win after a tough loss yesterday, but still won the series at Kansas State. Anyway, I'm driving home, listening to the game, and immediately comes up, they're up 12. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Well, you're thinking to yourself.
And then they extend it to 20 at one point early, and you're like, okay. And then Toronto goes on a 12-0 run to cut it to 8, and you're like,
here we go again.
Here we go again.
Because you're thinking to yourself, the previous 5 games, they've played some good teams in there, but they've also played some teams that they should be able to beat, including Milwaukee the night prior. Yeah. It's the second night of a back-to-back. You're facing a good Toronto team. I mean, it was all there for us to be talking about a 6-game losing streak here today. So credit to them for clearly showing the energy and understanding we need this one. They understood that was one of those gotta-have-it games. Like, you just need that one to feel good about yourself. And they did not let their foot off the gas the entire time. They understood, we got to finish this one. We got to make sure it's not in doubt in the fourth quarter because we need a win. They got it. They split the weekend. They snapped the losing streak. And now there are, 10 games to go here in the regular season. And so they'll try to gear up for their play-in matchup, hopefully at home. Hopefully they can hang on to that 7 seed. They've got a nice, comfortable, 4.5 game cushion for that 7 seed right now, whether it's the Clippers or Portland. They can gear up over these final 10 games for that play-in tournament because that's where all of our focus is going to be on. Thanks for hanging out with us here today on the Monday edition of The Lunch Break. 2 ways for you to get involved with the program. The phone number, 480-864-1060. We'd love to hear from you what your concern level is about the Phoenix Suns with 10 games to go in the regular season. You can also chat away with us on the YouTube channel, KDUS AM 1060 over there, where you can watch the show. We've got a jam-packed show for you here today. It's baseball week. The opening of the regular season is technically Wednesday night. For the Diamondbacks, it is on Thursday. We'll talk about the Cardinals, some draft news that is making the waves today that could impact what the Cardinals do with their first-round pick. But when we come back, the rotation for the Diamondbacks is set. We'll talk about that and 2 guys that made the bullpen next. It's the Lunch Break, KDUS AM 1060.
Midweek ASU baseball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Wednesday as they look to take on New Mexico State. Head coach Willie Blomquist knows how to get the most from his team and looks to earn ASU another win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday evening. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tech-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
Chicago Sticks, the Windy Cities Tour. Finally, 2 iconic bands together for the first time. September 1st, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Chicago and Sticks. All the hits, your kind of tour.
Santana, Oneness Tour 2026. The power, the energy. Come celebrate your favorite hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and beyond. With very special guest, the Doobie Brothers. Friday, August 14th, Mortgage Matchup Center. On sale now at LiveNation.com. Santana and Doobie Brothers, Oneness Tour 2026.
Meineke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meineke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meineke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meineke.com today. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. This is why I say the NCAA tournament is the single greatest event in all of sports. Nothing ever lives up to the hype except the big dance every single year. Case in point, how about my man, Phil Martelli Jr. coming on our program years after his father did, and then he and VCU roaring back to shock North Carolina and Hubert Davis. Martelli is a rising star, and Davis will be lucky to get another year. And maybe somebody should tell Mighty Duke that the tournament has actually started, because had they gone into the tank against Siena, that would have been not only the worst loss in program history, but arguably the worst loss in the history of that sport. And no, this is not about the guys that they lost to injury. This is about the guys that they had arrogantly thinking they could just roll the ball out. If you're trying to get even more people to hate you, Duke, it's working. Wake up, John Shire, then coach them up, because that was inexcusable. Day 2, let's get it. I'm Jim Rome. Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the code ROME. Get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. It's going to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. I love numbers. Like 100, as in 100%, as in TaxSlayer's 100% accuracy, guaranteed. And 0, as in $0, as in it costs $0 to file and get the refund you deserve with TaxSlayer Simply Free, if you qualify. Simply Free is available to a limited number of taxpayers with age, income, credit, and deduction restrictions. See TaxSlayer.com for eligibility requirements. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
That's right. Baseball, just a couple of days away. Wednesday night, Netflix, Yankees, Giants kicks off the season. The Diamondback season gets underway Thursday evening. It'll be Zach Gallen on the mound against Yoshinobu Yamamoto in one of the premier pitching matchups of the day. Producer Evan and I, just to take you behind the curtain a little bit of what we do in the lead up to the show, we spent, a good 10 or 15 minutes this morning going through the opening day pitching matchups and just ranking which ones we were most excited about. And Gallen Yamamoto is one of the better ones. You got Peralta Skeens, Mets Pirates, to open up the day. You have Gilbert is facing
Tanner Bibee.
Yes, Bibee for the.
Is it Bibee?
That's how I've always pronounced it. I could be pronouncing it incorrectly. I thought it was Tanner Bibee. But again, despite being a radio host, I get names wrong all the time.
I would say, though, there's only probably 5 great good matchups.
Yeah, and we define good as both starters you want to see, right? You want to see both starters. And there's a lot of potential, right? Garrett Crochet's going against the Reds. That could have been Crochet, Hunter Green.
Which would have been awesome.
You clear the schedule for that one, right? I mean, that's one where you stop what you're doing to watch those two guys go at it. But it's not, because Hunter Green starting the year on the injured list. It's going to be Andrew Abbott instead. So there are some premium pitching matchups. The Diamondbacks find themselves with one of them, with Zach Gallen getting the opening day start. And the Diamondbacks have revealed their opening day, or their beginning of the season order for their rotation. It's going to be Zach Gallen, Ryan Nelson, and Eduardo Rodriguez to start the year 1, 2, and 3, with Michael Soroka and then Brendan Pfaadt going 4, 5. So Merrill Kelly on the IL, going to start the year there, looking like he could be ready for that second turn through the rotation. It's going to be kind of a day-to-day thing. We'll keep an eye on that as the season begins. But it will be Gallen, Nelson, and Erod. And when you look at it on paper, it's not necessarily the 1, 2, 3 you thought you were going to have, right? You thought Merrill Kelly would be there. You thought Zach Gallen would be there, right? They would be 1-2. And then Ryan Nelson feels like a really good number 3. Instead, Nelson moves up to the number 2 slot. You have Erod. Now, you feel a lot better about Eduardo Rodriguez coming off of the WBC that he had, right? Again, the optics change. At the start of spring, if I would have told you against the Dodgers, that's the 1-2-3 that the Diamondbacks are going to roll out there, you'd feel a little uneasy. You probably feel a little better about it than you did at the beginning of spring because Gallons look good, because Ryan Nelson's look good, and because Eduardo Rodriguez in a big spot against Team USA was excellent in the WBC. So that's how the rotation lines up for the Diamondbacks to open the year. I think the bigger story is the 2 non-roster invites that have officially made the Diamondbacks bullpen. And Nick Pecora reported this for the Arizona Republic. Both Jonathan Loaisiga and Joe Ross, who are non-roster invites to spring training for the Diamondbacks, have made this team and have made this bullpen. Now, in the case of Loaisiga, it makes sense, right? The stuff is better than almost anybody's stuff that you saw in spring. Health is the question mark with him. And the Diamondbacks decided they were going to be the team that took the dart throw. He's looked good in spring. He stayed healthy. And if that stuff plays in the regular season, you've got a high leverage arm available to you while you wait for AJ Puck and Justin Martinez to get back. So no surprise with the spring that Loaisiga had that he made this team. Joe Ross is the surprise. Now, Joe Ross is making this team because they need a long man. They need what Michael Soroka was supposed to be. Assuming the health of Merrill Kelly, Soroka was originally signed to be the hedge as the 5 starter if they couldn't get anybody else in here, but they brought back both Kelly and Gallen, and so that kind of moved Soroka into the Jordan Montgomery role of a couple of years ago, where you may be our 6th starter when we need somebody, you're the first man up if somebody's got to skip a start in the rotation, but you're our mop-up guy, our long guy. If our starter can't get through 2 or 3 innings, you're going to eat it, basically, essentially, and wear it for 4 or 5 innings to save the bullpen. That was the role that Soroka was supposed to have when spring started. Kelly getting hurt, going on the injured list, has moved Soroka up into the rotation, and so then they need somebody to fill that role, and so Joe Ross is going to be that guy. And that's what you brought Soroka in for, to be that long man, to be that 6th starter, to be that in a pinch, I need somebody to start a game. But now he's needed to take this turn through the rotation for Merrill Kelly, so you need somebody to be able to be that long man, to be that swing man in the meantime. And so Joe Ross is going to be that guy. But Loaisiga makes a ton of sense. No surprise, because he stayed healthy, he's able to make this team. There were some openings for this Diamondbacks bullpen, right? With no AJ Puck, with no Justin Martinez, and with nobody really that was a slam dunk candidate of they have to have a roster spot. It was prime for somebody like Jonathan Loaisiga, who's got some premium stuff, to show up, show out, to wow everybody at camp and stay healthy and take a roster spot. And he did. And I think the 2 non-roster invites making the Diamondbacks bullpen, just as a further example of the state of affairs for this team on the pitching side. They needed help from everywhere to field the bullpen for opening day. Now, hopefully Loaisiga can be a key member of this bullpen. I think if he stays healthy, he can be. It could be one of the steals of the offseason if Loaisiga is able to stay healthy and show what he did in spring. Because you basically, for free, I mean, you signed him to a minor league deal with an invite to camp. I mean, you signed him for the bare minimum. Could have somebody that could be a setup man for you to start the year. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You don't have to pay $8, $10, $12 million for a setup guy. You got somebody on a minor league deal with an invite to spring who just balled out. The dart throw, you hit a bullseye. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And so in the meantime, while they wait for AJ Puck and Justin Martinez to come back, they need guys to step up. Loaisiga has been one of those guys who showed up to camp. So congrats to him for making the team. Congrats to Joe Ross for making the team, as well as non-roster invites. Those guys are always battling uphill, right? Minor league deal, invite to camp. You're not viewed as one of the top tier candidates for a position battle. And those 2 guys, in the case of Joe Ross, is because of an injury that he's able to kind of wedge himself into that role. But in the case of Loaisiga, somebody who went out there, saw the opportunity, and seized it all spring long.
Yeah, and we talked about this bullpen kind of being an opportunity for a lot of people, right? Because this was going to be one of those spots around the league where you felt like you could find a role. And they're going to be looking for high leverage guys, not guys to fill out the 4th and 5th inning. They're not looking for long relievers. they're out there throwing darts trying to find a guy who could pitch the 7th, 8th, 9th. And so for a guy like Loizaga, it made a lot of sense for him. It made a lot of sense for the D-backs. And I think he earned a spot on this roster. And on top of all that, when Loizaga is good, he could be the best arm in their bullpen.
Oh, the stuff is right now with who's healthy for this team.
He's got the best stuff out there.
I think he's got the best stuff. Maybe Juan Murillo is close. I'm just never going to quit Juan Murillo in that fastball. Forever. I'm just going to be a Juan Murillo stan. But with no Puck and with no Justin Martinez, I think there's a real compelling argument that Loizaga has the best stuff out of anybody in that pen that's right now on the roster. Yeah. And so that plays. That's somebody that you're going to trust. That's somebody who's going to get some real high leverage opportunities to start the year. This is the baseball nerd in me.
I'm a huge nerd.
Can't wait to see which guys Torey uses in a one-run game in the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, how he orchestrates it. Who gets what?
It's going to be fun. I think we could see it literally opening day.
Well, what's interesting to me about
if you
it.
can get a good start from Gallen, you could be in a one-run game.
Right.
Like, how are we going to deploy this? One run down, one run up.
And the interesting thing, at least for me, is I'm not looking at the group they have right now, super set in who should get a role. I think you should have a defined closer, and I think that should be Paul Sewald for right now. But what you do behind Paul Sewald, I think it's really manager choice. I think you're going to play the numbers, you're going to look at it. But I don't think he can go wrong, at least early, trying to figure out who fits into what role. I don't think there's a defined, this should be the 8th inning guy, this should be the 7th inning guy. I think you should go into the year with a plan of who you think right now you favor in those spots, but it's not going to be one of those things where who he pulls in the 8th inning, the first time he gets an opportunity, we're going to come in here the next day and be like, oh, that was a bad decision. I think there is going to be some trial and error because I think everybody has a legitimate case to be in the mix.
Everybody has a real case.
I mean, you could tell me that Ryan Thompson's my best arm in the 8th inning. You could tell me that Kevin Ginkel should be my 8th inning guy. You could tell me Loizaga with the stuff should be my 8th inning guy. You could tell me I don't want Loizaga in there because of the health, because he's coming off of an injury. I want to put him in some low leverage environments. I mean, there are so many compelling arguments as to which guy should get which spot. It's going to be real fun, I think, to see how Torey deploys these guys and what roles everybody kind of naturally falls in as the season progresses. Or it could just be complete chaos because nobody pitches well on a roll, and we're here, meltdown mountain, whack a closer. I mean, we just don't have any clue.
We got the whole order.
We have no idea who's getting 3 outs for us when we need it. Could go that way too. Should be fun. Just a couple of days away.
I'm pumped.
Of course.
I'm pumped for it all.
I mean,
we got a great opening slate here. You know what I am excited for? Not everybody talks about the first game of the year. That Wednesday night game. By the way, on Netflix.
Max Fried, Logan Webb.
In San Francisco, Yankees, Giants. That's awesome.
Yeah, should be a fun one to start the year. And it's a good pitching matchup. And it's national stage all by itself, the first Netflix game of the season. So it should be fun to see how they do with their broadcast for that as well. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to chime in here today. Would love to hear your thoughts, your optimism or pessimism for the Arizona Diamondbacks as the season just a couple of days away. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, have we all got it wrong about where Ty Simpson is going to go in the 2026 NFL Draft? We'll talk about that and the impact it could have on what the Cardinals do at number 3. Next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers, blues-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Southern Hospitality Tour. The Black Crows, Whiskey Myers. Saturday, August 15th, Mortgage Matchup Center. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
It's Truck Month at Tim Hovick's Santan Ford. F-150s, Lightnings, Super Duties. Right now, get zero down, 0% financing for 60 months, and zero payments for 90 days. That's a brand new Ford truck from Santan Ford with nothing out of pocket. Nobody in Arizona beats Tim Hovick on truck deals. Nobody. We've got the inventory, we've got the financing, and we're moving metal. Truck Month is on, and when they're gone, they're gone. Tim Hovick's Santan Ford in Gilbert or santanford.com. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Pick up decision with Precision Air.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan.
And Gina Bryan.
Owners of Precision Air and Plumbing.
Hey, Eric, let's talk about a word that gets thrown around a lot. Local.
We hear it all the time. Locally owned. Here's the thing. A lot of companies say they're local, but the reality is many of them aren't anymore.
They've been bought out by out-of-state companies, and when that happens, priorities change, homes turn into numbers, and people turn into profit goals.
We take pride in the fact that Precision is family-owned and still locally run for over 30 years.
We're not just talking about business. We're talking about our name, our family, our reputation.
And we'll be here long after the job is done. That's Precision Air and Plumbing. Make the precision decision today with Precision Air. Call 602-FIX-MY-AC. That's 602-FIX-MY-AC. Or go to precisionairandplumbing.com.
Make a precision decision with Precision Air.
Ready to refresh your space for less? At Living Spaces, thoughtful design and direct sourcing keep prices low while quality stays high. With sofas starting at just $295, queen beds from $195, and dining sets from just $295. Updating every room is within reach. Plus, enjoy fast, free shipping as soon as next day. So your new favorites arrive without the wait. Your next piece is waiting only at Living Spaces.
Living Spaces.
So, you're ready to propose, huh? Yeah, man. She's definitely the one. What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler. I could use some help with that. Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RT O'Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RT O'Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
I just want to preface this with the disclaimer. This is what happens when you give us this much time between free agency and the draft, okay? When there is this much time from the end of the major wave of free agency and the draft, one story like the one we are going to talk about today can take on a life of its own and completely change how you view the NFL draft. Because woke up this morning, had an idea of what I was going to talk about the Cardinals, and then all of a sudden, Dan Orlovsky went on Get Up this morning and decided to completely upend what we're doing on the show today. That's all it takes. One segment on Get Up. One notable football person to say, hey, I like Ty Simpson more than Fernando Mendoza. Hey, Ty Simpson is my QB1. I would rather take Ty Simpson anywhere from picks 15 to 20 than take Fernando Mendoza number 1 overall. That is what Dan Orlovsky said on Get Up today. And you may be thinking, Chris, it's just Dan Orlovsky. It's just one person. Who cares? I have a drop for this. I'll play it for you.
Who cares?
Who cares? Then you have Mike Tannenbaum, who worked in the league as a general manager, still has a bunch of contacts in the league, come out and say, I've heard the same thing from a bunch of teams, that those teams have Ty Simpson in front of Fernando Mendoza on their big boards. And now you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do with that information. And where it got me thinking, and we spent some time this morning talking about this, what does it do to the Cardinals and this idea that they could trade back into the first round to get Ty Simpson. And their link to Ty Simpson has really been going since, I want to say, the tail end of the regular season. We first started seeing stories that said that the Cardinals really like Ty Simpson. And then with the way that their free agency went at the quarterback position, it ramped up again. Mock drafts, it's a popular idea to have the Cardinals trade back into the first round and copy paste what the Giants did last year with Jackson Dart. You're seeing it all over the place. This linkage, they're the betting favorite to land Ty Simpson. I mean, you've got all sorts of signals that are linking the Arizona Cardinals and Ty Simpson. So you can't ignore it. You can't ignore and say, oh, they're not going to take Ty Simpson in the first round. No, they don't want to take him. You have to actually look at this and take it somewhat seriously. And so now you get the news today, or you hear from some people inside the sport, that maybe Fernando Mendoza isn't the quarterback that everybody loves. Maybe Ty Simpson is the quarterback that everybody loves. Now, again, this is what happens when you give us all this time between free agency and the draft. A story like this pops up, all of a sudden everybody freaks out and they change their big boards and they change their mock drafts, and we get to April and Fernando Mendoza goes number 1 overall. Ty Simpson gets drafted in the back part of the second round, and everything we thought was going to happen all along happens. But for just a second today, let's evaluate this. Are the Cardinals going to be able to move back up into the first round, into the Jackson Dart territory to land Ty Simpson? Or is this actually how many teams that are quarterback needy in the league feel about Ty Simpson, and he's going to go way earlier than we think? I was on record, take a note Thursday, he's a top 20 pick. You had it as well. We both agreed Ty Simpson's going in the top 20. Feels like with this news today, we
feel pretty good about it.
We feel pretty good about it. It feels somewhat likely that he's going to be a top 20 pick. So then the question is, instead of trading back into the first round, are the Cardinals going to have to trade out of 3 to get to a sweet spot to land Ty Simpson? Is that how this is going to go? And so instead of picking a player at number 3 and snagging Ty Simpson in the back part of the second round, their first round pick is just going to be Ty Simpson, and they draft him at 9 or 12. Because remember, when J.J. McCarthy got drafted, everyone said, nah, back part of the first round, early second, right? Minnesota just said, well, we're just going to take him at, 10, 11, whenever they took him, 12.
10 or 11, yeah.
Because we can't wait. So are the Cardinals going to move out of 3, go down to like 9, 10, Kansas City moves up, I forget who picks 10, 11, 12, move to that spot and take Ty Simpson? Because you have to be worried that 15 to 20 range, the Jets pick at 16. Who else is in that range that could be looking at a quarterback? I don't have the draft board up in front of me. I'll pull it up here. But there may be some other quarterback-needy teams in that range. 15 to 20. You've got Tampa at 15. You don't think so. You got the Jets at 16, surely. Detroit at 17, no. Minnesota at 18, no. Carolina at 19.
Are we sure it's no from Minnesota?
You think they're going to roll into next season with a quarterback room of Kyler Murray on a 1-year deal, a former first-round pick in J.J. McCarthy, and then another first-round pick?
Why not?
Team's got a lot of other needs that they need to address. I think they're extremely comfortable with their quarterback room being Kyler Murray and J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. If they're done with J.J., though, and you like Simpson.
Miami at 11.
Miami could pick him.
The Rams at 13.
Pittsburgh at 21.
Pittsburgh at 21. We always thought you could trade back in, right? You could trade back in with maybe Dallas at 20, the Chargers at 22, the Eagles at 23, right? The Jackson Dart range from a year ago. You trade back in because the Cardinals pick 34. You move up from there. You add some additional picks to the pot, sweeten the deal a little bit, and you get your quarterback, right? That's how we thought this was going to go. Are we sure that's the case? Now, this is all hypothetical. We're just reacting to one person saying that he likes Ty Simpson more and one media personality saying he's heard that from other teams in the league, right? It's overreacting to one data point. So we've got to be careful. But if this is true, if this is how teams feel inside the league, I don't think you can get him at 23. I don't think you can get him at 25 trading with the Bears or 26 trading with Buffalo. I don't think you can get him there. I think you have to get in front of the Jets at 16, Pittsburgh at 21, maybe even the Rams at 13. Remember, the Rams, They had 2 picks. They traded one of their picks to go get Trent McDuffie. Maybe they're not going to take a quarterback, but they've always been a team that people have kind of mocked. Hey, get the Matthew Stafford contingency plan going immediately.
People have said that for 3 years now.
You got Miami at 11. You've got Dallas with both of their picks. They could maybe entertain taking a quarterback. Got a lot of teams that you might have to maneuver around. Maybe you trade with Cincinnati, who needs a pass rusher because they let Trey Hendrickson go. You trade with them. You go down from 3 to 10. You pick up some additional draft capital. You take Ty Simpson at 10 and you call it a day. That could be a reality that faces us next month.
100% could be a reality.
Because you asked me the question in the morning meeting, are we just all wrong about this? Have we been wrong from the get-go about where Ty Simpson's going to go in the draft?
Well, there's always one, right? Somewhere, in the draft, there's always one you're wrong about. And from a media perspective, from a fan perspective, we look at one player very differently than the league looks at that player.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, last year was the biggest example in Shedeur. Right? The league looked at Shedeur in one way, the media looked at him in another, and the fans looked at him in another. There was a vast difference in where people thought Shedeur should go. It's not going to be that egregious this year. But even Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Like, go back to Gibbs. I think a lot of us saw, man, could Gibbs go in the first round? Then he's picked at 12. Right? Like, the league had a very different feeling on Gibbs.
And there were teams that wanted to pick Gibbs inside the top 10. They just couldn't bring themselves to
do a running back, right? So the league looked at him very differently than how we did. That is going to happen again this year. It's just if it's Ty Simpson. And if Cleveland at 6, if it's New Orleans loves him at 8, right? Like Miami at 11. If those teams like him and the league looks at him, which now we're starting to get an inkling maybe they do, we're talking about a quarterback who could go way higher than we expect.
I think it's, and I know I said this last Thursday for a Take a Note Thursday, but I feel really confident that he's going to be a top 20 pick. Like, I think I don't want to say it's a slam dunk, but it's pretty close. Like, there's just a lot of momentum to the idea that he's going to go inside the top 20. And I don't know if that means he's going to go to the Cardinals. I actually think it becomes more complicated for the Cardinals to get him if he's a top 20 pick, because now they're in this awkward place of it's too much to move up from 34.
It's a wild to move back.
It's a far distance to move back from 3 unless you're going to move back twice.
I was going to say, unless you move from like 3 to like
7
with Washington,
and then you move from
get to
7
from 14 with Baltimore,
or maybe 11 or 12. And the way you justify it in your head is we've moved down twice. We've picked up a bunch of other capital maybe on day 2, so we feel comfortable taking a quarterback.
That would be the way you sell it.
That's the way you attempt to sell it. But I've just advocated that the easiest path potentially for the Cardinals to get Ty Simpson is to trade back twice from pick number 3. Not very likely. When's the last time you've seen a team do that?
Yeah, the way this is falling is really poor for the Cardinals if you wanted them to draft Ty Simpson. Those odds that I gave you that they were the favorites, I haven't checked them today. I imagine they've shifted.
No, they can't still be the favorite. It is very difficult for them to move from 3 into a range, and it's harder to move up from 34. Because I don't think Ty Simpson's going to be pick number 25 next month.
And here's the one thing I'll tell you, and you said it, like teams in the top 10 liked Jahmyr Gibbs. Couldn't bring themselves to draft a running back. If a team in the top 10 likes Ty Simpson, it's pretty easy to get yourself to say, let's take a quarterback in the top 10.
And
it's really easy to get there.
Sure, but let's also talk about the team that I think is the team that could be the biggest thorn in the Cardinals side, and that's the New York Jets.
Yeah.
They can come up from 16. You're coming up from 34.
The Jets...
You can't bridge that gap.
The Jets are in a position where I can move back from 2 in the same outline we just...
Not even move back from 2.
I can come up from 16. Maybe he's there at 16.
Right. And if I really like him and I want to make sure I get him and I have to move up to 14 or 13,
okay.
I'm moving up a couple of spots.
You don't think the Rams would be willing to move back 3 spots for a couple picks?
You don't think Baltimore would move back from 14?
Yeah.
If he got to 14 and he's on the board, you don't think Baltimore would move back 2 spots? Now, you got to be careful. This is all smokescreen season. This could be teams just...
This happens all the time.
Drumming up interest so that some team gets jumpy and wants to move up, and this tries to spark a bidding war for a pick. Now, I don't think that's what's happening here because I don't think there's a chance that Ty Simpson goes inside the top 8. And so if this is the Jets or the Cardinals or the Titans or the Giants trying to drum up interest so that they can move out of their pick, I think that is a foolish endeavor. Like, I don't think you're going to get that. But I do need to point out that this could be smokescreen season. You have to take all of these stories with a grain of salt. But the fact that this was said today, that Orlovsky doesn't have any skin in the game, saying, hey, I think Ty Simpson's the better quarterback prospect. You have Mike Tannenbaum saying teams that I've talked to feel the same way. You start to wonder, is Ty Simpson going to be in a spot for the Cardinals to take him outside of just taking him at number 3? And I think that would be insanity.
And you wonder what teams are saying that, right? Like, right. Like, is that Miami scouting him, or is that the Rams looking for a replacement for Matthew Stafford?
Or is it the Giants saying it so that they can get some team, antsy to want
to move up,
to get inside the top 5?
So I've no idea what general managers are saying this. Whoever it is, one of them has some kind of motive behind it.
But we do need to confront the reality of this may make it more difficult for the Cardinals to land him if he is their guy. And they want to pull what the Giants did with Jackson.
Feels like it got a lot harder today.
Feels like it got a lot harder with now the media cycle that's going to develop here over the coming days. 480-864-1060, the phone number if you want to weigh in. Your thoughts on Ty Simpson, what the Cardinals should do with the number 3 overall pick, or what they should do with their 2026 NFL draft. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. We've got some people saying it's crazy that Ty Simpson's going to be a top 20 pick, and that Dan Orlovsky thinks he's better than Fernando Mendoza. When we come back, the Sweet 16 is set. Is this U of A's tournament to lose? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade 2026. Live at Chase Field, September 6th, 2026. With special guest, Jimmy Eat World. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit mychemicalromance.com.
Monument Valley? Check. Grand Canyon? Check. Sedona? Check. Camelback? Check. Think you've seen it all in Arizona? Well, if you haven't been fishing, you haven't seen a thing. From ponds and reservoirs to rivers and lakes, our state has no shortage of ways to cast a line for beginners and pros. And a fishing license is your passport to all of them. Get your license at azgfd.gov and discover a whole new way to see Arizona.
This is Arizona's biggest name in gaming. Whether it's the brilliantly brand new White Tanks or the always spectacular West Valley right down the street, we've got you covered with the hottest slots and tables, state-of-the-art sportsbook, dazzling dining like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse, entertainment, and more. The brand new Desert Diamond White Tanks and Desert Diamond West Valley.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
Some flavors just take you to another place, like the Filet-O-Fish, a crispy fish fillet made with wild-caught Alaskan pollock on melty American cheese topped with tartar sauce, all on a soft steamed bun. It's crispy, flaky perfection. And right now, I can mix and match 2 favorites, like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece chicken McNuggets for just $6. This deal is the catch of the day. So get to McDonald's fast. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Midweek ASU baseball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Wednesday as they look to take on New Mexico State. Head coach Willie Blomquist knows how to get the most from his team and looks to earn ASU another win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday evening. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
The Sweet 16 is set. And I would make the case that this is U of A's tournament to lose. It was a fun weekend of college basketball. You had some games that came down to the wire. St. John's, Kansas. Arkansas High Point was a close game into the second half. You had the upset of Iowa over Florida. How about Nebraska after picking up their first NCAA tournament win against Troy? They're continuing their run, the 2-point win over Vanderbilt. I was actually out Saturday night while that game was going on, and there was a small little pocket of the place that I was at just glued to that game. Like huge Nebraska fans.
It is awesome, by the way, first of all, I got to say something. I don't know if it's just out by me. I have a huge Nebraska population in my area.
There are, yeah.
Like, if you go out on a Saturday to watch games at any bar restaurant, like, around me, Nebraska fans going everywhere.
Yeah. I had a roommate in college who obviously came here to ASU, but grew up rooting for Nebraska football. That was the college he rooted for in both football and basketball. And so he would go out to the Nebraska bars to watch with other, Nebraska fans. Yeah, 100%. So it was a good weekend of college basketball. And I think, boy, it sets up about as well as you could get for U of A to win a national championship, to return to the promised land. And I'll tell you why I think that this year sets up so well for them. When you look at the path that other teams are going to have, right? Look at Duke's path in their side of the bracket. Their next matchup is against a 5-seeded St. John's team. That's in no way, shape, or form a 5-seed. Like, that's one of the top 12 teams in the country, right? Top 10 team in the country. I mean, St. John's, they've been great. Let's say you get by them. You're either going to face Michigan State in Tom Izzo or UConn, who've been running the sport the last couple of years. So that's that region of the bracket. You look down, Houston, they got to get by Illinois. Then they either have to get by Nebraska or Iowa. Kind of an easy path for Houston to get to a Final Four. You look at Michigan, they've got to get by Alabama. Iowa State's in there as well. Tennessee's been good so far here in the tournament. And then you look at U of A. There's a chance they're going to face an 11 seed. The highest seed remaining in the tournament is 11 seeded Texas. There's a chance if they beat Purdue, that's who U of A is going to play. And by the way, I have already started to troll the people in the building who are U of A fans about them potentially meeting up with Sean Miller with a date at the Final Four on the line. I've already trolled them and have said, if you play Sean Miller, you're going to lose. Like, that's how this is going to go.
If they lose that game.
You saw it. I've already started trolling those people in the building.
The storyline.
Oh, I don't think you'd ever be able to get up from it.
You wouldn't. You would have to move on from Tommy Lloyd.
Arkansas could give them trouble, but
I want to say this right now. Arkansas is the best player in the country. What Darius Acuff is doing in this tournament as a freshman is absurd.
Yeah, 97-78 win over Hawaii in the first round. Then they beat High Point by 6 over the weekend. I mean, they could give Arizona some trouble. But let me just check one thing.
I mean, Utah State hung in that game for a while. U of A pulled away late, but they were in it.
The only team that is a larger favorite in the Sweet 16 is Michigan. Michigan is a 10.5-point favorite against Alabama. U of A is a 7.5-point favorite against Arkansas. They're the second largest favorite of the Sweet 16.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you just how dominant they've been and how this sets up really nicely for them. And I think it could be their tournament to lose. They have the highest seed remaining in the bracket that they could potentially meet. Obviously, Texas has to upset Purdue, but Purdue's only a 6.5-point favorite. I think whoever comes out of the East, it's going to be a war of attrition. Like whoever gets there, they're going to have gone through a gauntlet. Think about this. If UConn gets there, an 11-point win over Furman, they had a nice win over UCLA, but they're going to have to go through Michigan State, and then they're either going to have a rematch with St. John's, who've had their number all year,
or play
Duke. Duke they struggled against Siena, only a 6-point win. Yeah, they blew out TCU, but now it's going to be St. John's and then either Tom Izzo or UConn.
And before that TCU game, Duke hadn't covered a spread in 7 games. And not that we're talking about betting here, you're trying to win, but it just means they're not winning comfortable. Just 7 straight games.
Just sets up really nicely for U of A. And by the way, my prediction of 4 1 seeds making it to the Final Four, over before we got to the Sweet 16. Thanks, Florida.
My bracket's over, and Rooster was high on Florida.
Hour number 1 of the program in the books. We got buy or sell to kick off hour number 2 next. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
If you don't have gas in your home, but something doesn't smell good. Ew, what's that smell? If it smells like rotten eggs, there could be a leak in your neighborhood. Now what do I do? If you suspect a leak, move fast, call 911 and Southwest Gas.
From a safe location.
But I don't have natural gas in my home. Gas lines are buried all around, so even if you don't have gas. I know, call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Stained. Break the Cycle 25th Anniversary Tour. Featuring Seether. Stained. October 13th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. With special guests, Hoobastank and Hinder. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the America First Credit Union Series.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan.
And Gina Bryan.
Owners of Precision Air and Plumbing.
When we talk about precision, we're not just talking about business. We're talking about our name and reputation.
A lot of companies claim they're local, but they're not. They've been bought out, answering to shareholders.
Homes turn into numbers and priorities turn into profits, not customers.
Not here. We'll be here long after the job is done. Make the precision decision. Call 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Make a precision decision with Precision Air.
Come see us at Mark Mazda Scottsdale off the 101 in Indian School. Right now, you can receive a 1.9% APR for 60 full months on some of Mazda's most popular models, like the 2026 Mazda CX-50 and CX-50 Hybrid.
Don't know what to do with your trade? We'll give you a minimum of $8,000 for any trade, no matter what shape it's in, as long as it runs based on the actual MSRP. And if $8,000 is a minimum, think what your good trading might be worth.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. On approved credit plus $98.
When I was a kid, my dream wasn't a mansion. It wasn't a yacht. It was a 250cc Kawasaki dirt bike sitting in the garage. That garage and that bike represented freedom. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello. At A1 Garage Door Service, we know your garage holds more than tools. It holds dreams. From repairs to upgrades, call A1 Garage Door Service today or schedule online at a1garage.com.
A1 from day one.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. What, producer Evan? You don't like the new redrum music we got in here?
It feels very Edwin Diaz.
I mean, I believe the playlist I pulled this off of from our music library was baseball music. So you may not be that far off. It had a very summery baseball vibe to it.
Yeah, no, I like it. We have a lot of new music.
Yeah, we're debuting some new music here today on the program. We'll have some new music for the leftovers to close the show. Remind me that I need to actually put that in the system before we get to the leftovers because that's not on the board in front of me. I don't want us to run into that problem a little bit later, so just remind me to do that. We open up hour number 2 of the program, and thanks for hanging out with us here today on the show with a little buy or sell, the hottest takes in the Valley. And you know what they say. I've heard them. They've talked about it. Nothing like the Monday edition of Buy or Sell after a weekend where you got a bunch of stuff going on. Nothing like it.
They've always said
They've
that.
always said it.
Always
have said it. Now, I don't know who they are, but they've always said it.
All right, well,
what do we got today?
I got March Madness stuff, and then I got a bunch of D-backs.
Right, and again, that's what they say. There's nothing like the post-first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament edition of Buy or Sell.
They've always
said that.
Now, not that we've ever had
No,
had that.
but it's what they've always said.
It's what they've said. One of the 5 or lower seeds remaining will be in the Final Four.
Okay, let me look at the bracket here. So you're saying that...
So that means St. John's will beat Duke and then win their next game.
11-seeded Texas.
Yep. It would be
6-seeded Tennessee or
9-seeded
9-seeded Iowa. I have to pick them or the field?
Yes.
Give me the field.
Okay.
I like St. John's a lot.
I knew you did, so I tried to group them in.
But I just think they're going to have a tough time with Duke. They did not shoot the ball well against Kansas.
Well, they don't shoot the ball well, period.
They went through a stretch where they missed like 10 or 12 field goals in a row, and they were coming out of the commercial break, and that's when they interviewed Patino. And he was like, we can't hit a shot. They know that. They're just leaving us wide open. We just got to start making shots. Like, it was the easiest breakdown of what had gone wrong for St. John. And they were winning the game at that point. He was like,
Patino, by the way, is getting funnier and funnier with his age. The video of him, like, in either seemingly a hotel bar.
It was a hotel bar. It was an airport bar. It was a convention center. I don't know where it was.
But it's just him with, like, 30 St. John's fans around him.
Explaining the end of the game. Yeah, he's done wonders for St. John's. He really has.
He really has. And but no, I hope if they make it to the Elite Eight, he's got to wear the white suit.
Brian says thumbs down on the rejoin music. How about some good 90s alternative? Chili Peppers, Stone Temple, Pearl Jam.
Would you like to tell him?
No, I mean, listen, I don't know if anyone's noticed this, but none of our rejoin music is like actual songs. We can use actual songs, but we can only use a certain amount of them. And it makes it a little difficult for producer Evan behind the scenes because then he has to be worried about how long we've let a song go
I
for.
can't.
So we just try to avoid that here on the program. So
now we could.
I
think on Thursday, maybe we go with Put Me in, Coach.
Okay, a little center field.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a little bit of extra work to have all baseball-themed rejoins for the show. But
yeah, we should.
We could give it a shot.
What other songs are about baseball?
Well, we've got a couple of days to do some research. We just hold on. This is where we ask.
Football season, we should do the boys of fall.
GPT.
What baseball songs
there's the Archie again. What are some good?
You know what we should do for our draft
baseball
this week? Songs. Before opening day.
Yeah.
We should do drafting baseball movies.
So you want that to be the draft on Thursday?
Yeah.
Or on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay, lock us in.
Okay. Look at that. I'm producing the program here live.
This ChatGPT gave me Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Center Field.
Of course.
Talking Baseball by Terry Cashman. Never heard of it. Could be made up. Glory Days by Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, he can throw that speedball by you.
All the Way by Eddie Vedder.
By the way, we are out of Bruce tickets.
Yeah, you were efforting very hard last week to try to snag some Bruce tickets. The Greatest by Kenny Rogers. And that's Sweet Caroline.
Oh, I mean, now we're getting.
And then they said We Will Rock You by Queen. And then literally it says not baseball specific, but a stadium staple everywhere. So just completely ignoring the theme of what we're doing.
But ChatGPT probably saw that and was like, we got nothing.
It was literally the last song they suggested.
It gave you, why they believe that.
Yeah.
The D-backs will be in a fight with an NL East team for the last wild card spot. In ultra specific.
It certainly feels like that's what it's going to come down to, right? We should probably do predictions at some point this week on the show.
Do that Tuesday
or Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll do division winners, award winners for both American and National League.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start taking notes.
So we'll do that.
I got 2 fantasy baseball drafts tonight. By the way.
2?
2
at the same time.
Hopefully not.
Good thing there's no Suns game on tonight, or else you'd be very distracted.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know if 2 teams are going to come out of the Central. I really don't think 2 teams are going to come out of the Central. I think it's just going to be either
you went from I don't know to I really don't.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I'm just trying to. I'm not a full believer in Chicago, just yet. I don't know if they're going to have the pitching.
Right. It's the pitching and it's the length of the lineup.
Right. They have some guys, but do they have a 1 through 9 that can consistently deliver for them? I'm just not sure.
I like Nico Horner.
Sure, he's a good player. A PCA had a great first half last year. Didn't finish strong.
It was bad. It was bad at the end.
Alex Bregman. You know what you're going to get defensively? The bat was good last year in Boston, but he is getting older. So They're not going to have Seiya Suzuki to start the year.
There's a lot of
question marks.
A lot of question marks.
Milwaukee, they traded their ace in Freddie Peralta.
And they seemingly are always going to win 80-plus games.
That's kind of what they do. They have a great manager.
They
Probably
do.
one of my favorite managers in baseball right now, Pat Murphy. He's great. Former Sun Devil. Former manager of ASU baseball. So, yes, I will buy this take that it is between the Diamondbacks and the NL East teams for the last wild.
Tommy Lloyd.
Although bad news for the Braves today with Spencer Strider going on the injured list.
The Braves are going to win 70.
They're in trouble. That may just be a two-team race in the NL East between the Phillies and the Mets. Strider missed time last year, too.
Yeah.
And they've already
He hasn't been healthy in like 3 years.
Schwellenbach's already on the injured list. We looked at their starting five, their rotation. Not good. You asked if they were going to start 0-10 again.
What was it last year? It's like 0-12?
They started. I can look while you give me the next one. Go ahead.
Tommy Lloyd needs to win to go to the Elite Eight or his job is in trouble.
No, I don't think his job's on the line. No, I don't want the Braves spring training schedule from last year. They lost the first 7 of the year.
7.
8 of the first 9.
Wow.
It was a rough start. Well, they played 4 in San Diego and then 4 in LA. They played the first 7 on the road against 2 pretty good teams.
But you can't lose all 7.
Of course not. Tommy Lloyd has to win. You're what you're saying to me right now, this upcoming matchup.
Tommy Lloyd's coaching for his job.
Must win that. You're saying, poor Tommy Lloyd must win to keep his job.
I mean, it is a must win.
But to keep his job,
yes,
it's a must win. If he loses, he's not coming back.
Well, I think there's a few ways he wouldn't come back, but
I don't think he needs to win.
I think Kansas is going to offer him a lot of money.
I think they beat Arkansas, so I don't think this is a problem. But I don't.
Like, if they lose this game, to me, you go back to the drawing board, like, failure after failure after failure after failure.
I mean, you have a bias here. Let's just.
I don't have any bias.
In fact, you have a massive bias.
I don't.
I believe. Aren't you wearing a Sun Devil polo today, or no?
No, this one's just generic Final Four.
Okay, I thought you were wearing a Sun Devil polo today, but no, it's not. Because you have one that's very similar to that is a Sun Devil.
Sun Devil,
polo.
yeah.
No, I don't think his job's on the line. I think no matter what happens, I mean, it'll be disappointing. This will be their best chance in a really long time to win.
Yeah,
and I would be frustrated.
It would be an embarrassment.
That's strong. Embarrassment would have been losing to LIU.
Yes.
Embarrassment would have been losing to Utah State. I think getting to a Sweet 16 and losing to...
If they lose to Sean Miller, you got to fire him.
Okay, that would be funny. Now, you want to talk about an embarrassment? That would be an embarrassment. To lose to an 11 seed and the former coach that you couldn't get over the hump with, and you're still looking to get over the hump, and then he comes back with another team that's an 11 seed, and he beats you, that would be an embarrassment. I would agree. To go to the Final Four and you get sent home, that's an embarrassment. But correct me if I'm wrong, it was in the last segment that you said Arkansas has the best player in the country.
They do, yeah.
So I don't know how embarrassing it would be to lose to that team.
Well, U of A has the most talent.
I know, but good coach for Arkansas and Calipari. Best player in the country, according to you. That doesn't equal embarrassment if you lose the game. Now, if you lose by 25 and you're not competitive, okay. But you lose late? No, I don't think it's an embarrassment, and no, I don't think he gets fired.
All right, I got some D-backs. I can do these rapid fire if you would like.
You know what? Take your time. It's a Monday.
Okay.
We're settling into the week.
Because I got some D-back player picks. Corbin Carroll will hit 25-plus homers this year.
25-plus home runs for Corbin Carroll. What did he hit last year?
Last year he hit 32. That's off the top of my head. So check my math.
I will here once. I cannot stand websites that do this. I don't care. When I click statistics, I don't care about who hit well in spring. He hit 31 last year.
31.
31, 22 the year prior, 25 the year before that. He's got the injury. He's looked good since coming back from the injury. He was, and I mean this with the utmost respect to Corbin Carroll because I love him. He's one of my favorite players to watch. He was awful in 24.
Terrible.
He was bad. Still hit 22 home runs. So I'll take the over on 25 even though he was hurt.
Over on 25. Jordan Lawler will hit over 275.
I was going to talk about him tomorrow on the show, and maybe we still will. He's had a really good spring.
A tremendous.
Have you seen the spring numbers? Like, I actually sat down and
I saw the
looked
spring
at them
numbers.
today.
Have you seen the spring numbers versus breaking balls?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Not only is this guy hitting the fastball, he's hitting 318 on the breakers.
Boy, I can't wait for us to be able to use that drop in a positive light. Like, I am ready.
Well,
I'm ready for a massive 3-hit game, including a walk-off, and we hit the daily special, and then I just...
Please tell me we played it after he obviously grounded out the first, but walk-off grounded out the first.
I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure because we tongue-in-cheek had some fun with it, if I remember correctly. What was the take? He would hit above what?
275.
275 is a little strong. I think he can hit better.
He's hitting 370 in spring.
I think it's 333, if I remember what I looked at this morning. I think he'll be better than he was last year because I think he's more confident. I think they're going to put him in a position to succeed. He's going to be playing mostly every day, which I think is important. I think he'll hit more than 250, but 275? How many guys in baseball who qualified for a batting title hit 275 last year?
I'll tell you.
And the only reason why I asked that is because average has become, we don't care about average anymore.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I think that's the dumbest thing we've ever done.
All right, so looking at...
Okay, are you ready? In batting average.
It's 35 players.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
It's 35 players.
Some notables that did it.
Geraldo Perdomo. Ketel Marte.
Ketel Marte.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Josh Naylor.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Manny Machado.
Freddie Freeman.
Hunter Goodman.
Jacob Wilson.
That was third and second, hitting 311. Bo Bichette. George Springer. Trey Turner hit 304.
That was the fakest 304.
Bobby Witt hit 295. Bryce Terang hit 288.
Alejandro Kirk.
I'm seeing a lot. Aaron Judge hit 331. I'm hearing a lot of guys who participated in the WBC for Team USA that did not hit that well in the WBC.
Shea Langoliers, 277.
Yes.
Tyler
Shohei Ohtani
Soderstrom, 276.
hit 282. Alejandro Kirk hit 282.
Gunnar Henderson just below the mark at 274. Paul Goldschmidt hit 274 last year.
Pete Alonso hit 272.
Wow. Kyle Tucker, 266.
So that's
clearly 266 for Kyle Tucker. Clearly Dodgers overpaid.
So that's the company you think that Jordan Lawler is going to keep next year.
Yeah.
I will sell that take.
In the Tyler Soderstrom, Hunter Goodman hit 278. You know,
it's Coors.
That's fair.
He gets to play 81 games at Coors. So that's
Perdomo will hit over 300.
Oh, bye.
He hit 290 last year.
Bye. Yeah, I Perdomo big year incoming. I think he's going to have a huge follow-up to last year.
Do you?
I do. It's a lot of pressure because of how good he was last year. I mean, he was an MVP candidate last year. I mean, you saw it in the WBC. He looks locked in right now. He was having some of the same at-bats you see him have in the regular season.
I mean, he had a great at-bat.
Right, got
for
robbed.
A walk.
Got robbed.
Yeah, he walked it was the final out.
And that's just the standard. And he just wears guys out. He just wears pitchers out.
He sees like 9 pitches in at bat.
And it's just a huge skill to have. You just win so many battles that way. And he'll take his walks. He'll have a super high OBP next year. I don't know if he'll hit for as many home runs, but
the number might come down. It's always going to fluctuate.
I think he's going to hit 300. I mean, he just has such an excellent command of the zone. I'll take the over.
Last one for you.
Okay.
Ryan Waltman will hit double-digit home runs in the big league.
So get to the big leagues because he's not going to break camp with the team. And then hit 10. Man, I am so jaded with the way they handled Jordan Lawler's call-up last year that I'm so afraid that they're going to screw it up. Because if you're going to call him up and play him regularly, well, you would hope. But if you're going to call him up and play him regularly, he's got the pop to get to 10. But if you're going to call him up and play him once a week, and he's going to get 5 at-bats a week,
then no, he won't.
I don't think he's going to get to 10. So I'm going to glass half full.
Like, let's say Thomas struggles to start. Why would you not?
Well, I would love for him to hit 300
through the month
of May. Really hoping for.
I will double down on it. I'm going to start next year with a 6-point lead. That's going to be great.
Listen, I have until Thursday to decide if I'm accepting those terms. Once the season starts, I have to be locked in because I can't wait for Alec Thomas. So I have until Thursday. I may just eat the 250 wings. But yes, if Alec Thomas struggles or if Lawler struggles, you could call him up and play him every day. And these things always tend to work themselves out, whether it's underperformance or an injury pops up and then an opportunity is there. I think Ryan Waldschmidt is going to hit so well in AAA that he's going to really force their hand. And I think we're going to talk about it
for Ryan Waldschmidt.
I don't know what we'll do there, but we can work on it. We're going to talk about this a little bit later this hour. The offense is going to be very important to the start of the year for this team. And so they may need some reinforcements. And so I wonder if after the first couple of weeks, if Waldschmidt's just tearing the cover off the ball,
they would bring him up.
They just bring him up.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we've said, like, gosh, if they need it early, they need to, you hate to say you're going to have a quick trigger finger in the first 60 games, but it feels like it. You might need it.
Well, we've said that this season is really the first 60 games for this team. They have to be in the mix after the first 60.
If they're not, they're in serious trouble.
If they're not, they're in serious trouble. Because I just don't think they have the roster and the resources and the reinforcements that can make up a huge deficit.
No, not at all. That's all I got for you.
The Monday edition of Buy or Sell in the books. The phone number 480-864-1060 if you want to weigh in on any of our buy or sell topics here today on the show. You can also chat away with us, the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, 10 games to go in the regular season for the Phoenix Suns. What is the most important thing that we want to see? We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, everything can change fast. That's when the attorneys at Sweet James step in. They help you understand your rights, connect you with medical care, and pursue the compensation you may be entitled to. You don't pay anything unless your case is resolved successfully, and help is available 24 hours a day. If you've been injured, call Sweet James for a free case review. Hablamos Español. 800-900-0000. SweetJames.com. This advertisement is paid for by Sweet James LLP. Responsible attorney, Bobby Tick-Heavy. Offices in California. No guarantee of results.
The Avid Brothers and Mike Patton present Avid Patton performing live at Arizona Financial Theater, May 12th. Avid Patton. On sale now at livenation.com.
Jumbo Shrimp is back at Del Taco. One bite of Del's Jumbo Shrimp Taco. And yeah, you're on a whole different level of flavor. Top tier, no notes. Crispy golden shrimp, crunchy cabbage, fresh house-made pico de gallo, and savory secret sauce. All wrapped up in a warm flour tortilla with a fresh-cut lime wedge. And right now, get 2 for just $6. They're only here for a limited time. So level up with 2 crispy jumbo shrimp tacos for $6. Only at Del Taco. Del, yeah. Price and participation may vary.
Fridays at 5, I'm out exploring. From hiking up Camelback to skiing at Snowbowl, the adventures never stop with AAA. It's membership that travels with me, whether behind the wheel or a passenger. In my ride, my buddies, or a rental. AAA's got 24/7 expert help with tows, battery help, and more. Plus branch services like free passport photos and trip planning. Membership gives you all this and more for less than $6 a month. And I can add loved ones for half off. Call or visit your local branch today. AAA, your membership to go.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. In today's version of college basketball, the best coaches can all do one thing: adapt. With the transfer portal, NIL, shifting styles of play, you are constantly adjusting. And odds are, if you don't, you're falling behind. The first 2 rounds of March Madness have been a perfect example of that. John Calipari and Rick Pitino both back in the Sweet 16. Calipari has built winners everywhere, turning UMass into a force, took Memphis to a national championship game, won it all at Kentucky, and now has Arkansas in the Sweet 16. Pitino's resume just as impressive, took Providence to a Final Four, titles with Kentucky and Louisville, and success at Iona and now at St. John's. Different programs, different decades, same outcome because neither coach stayed the same. They adjusted to their players and to the game and to their new environment. Not having a system, but knowing when to adapt and change it. That's what coaching is now. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. These days, everybody's searching for ways to save on insurance, scrolling comparison sites, digging through tips, chasing deals, but Liberty Mutual makes it simple. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance to save you money. And when you bundle, those savings really come through. It's insurance built for real people with a team that goes above and beyond to help you keep more of what matters. No hunting, no hassle, just confidence that your coverage customized with savings in mind. Start your quote at libertymutual.com. 2 words, prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime. Prostate cancer can have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
Games to go for the Phoenix Suns in their regular season. Gets underway tomorrow night, home against Denver, home against Utah, at Memphis, at Orlando, at Charlotte, at Chicago, Houston at home, Dallas at home, at the Lakers, at Oklahoma City, and then it is their date in the play-in tournament, either against the Los Angeles Clippers or the Portland Trailblazers. Those appear to be the 2 teams that they are most likely to face. And so with 10 games to go, with the Suns relatively locked into the 7 seed in the Western Conference, relatively locked into a play-in tournament game at home, downtown Phoenix, Mortgage Matchup Center, with a chance to face the San Antonio Spurs in the first round of the NBA playoffs. With that 10 games away, what do we care about over these next 10 games? What is most important for us to see over these next 10 games? Is it just, because I asked this question in the morning meeting, and producer Evan kind of laughed at me and said, it's obviously the health of the team, right? It's obviously just getting Dylan Brooks back. It's obviously just getting Mark Williams back. It's obviously just getting Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal back, right? It's just having those 4 guys on the team contributing. The health can explain away a lot of what happened in February and March. If you wanted to try to make the case that all of it is because of the injuries and the health, you could make that case. I think the coaching has been a little questionable at times. This team, despite the injuries, have had leads late. They haven't been able to finish. I think that's just on the guys that are out there. But if you wanted to just make the case that, hey, they don't have Dylan Brooks. By the way, I read his story on ESPN today grading the 10 best moves of the last year. Number 6 was Dylan Brooks. The Suns are, since Brooks got hurt in that game against Orlando, excluding that win, they are 7-8 since Dylan Brooks has gone out. Barely a 500 basketball team, not even, since Dylan Brooks went out with his injury. And it's been so swingy, so volatile since that moment. They won that game against Orlando. They then lost the next two against Portland and Boston. And if you'll remember, those are games in which they could not shoot the basketball. They scored, 70 points against Portland? I mean, offensively, they were just gone for those two games. Then they won two against LA and at Sacramento. Then they had that brutal loss at home to Chicago. And then they rattled off 4 wins, New Orleans, Charlotte, Milwaukee, Indiana. And then they had that 5-game losing streak that they just got out of last night against Toronto. They've been so swingy, so inconsistent, so volatile without Dillon Brooks. 7-8 since he went out with the injury. It's been rated one of the best moves of the last calendar year. ESPN put out a story today ranking it number 6. So is it just the health of the team? Just getting Dillon Brooks back fixes all of the ills of the last 2 months or so. Getting Mark Williams back, getting Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal back, does that fix everything? Is that the only thing that is important over these final 10 games? Or is it also important, the results of these 10 games? Not for seeding, not for chasing down the 6 seed, not for making sure you're locked into the 7 seed. That's pretty much locked in. 4.5 with 10 to go. But do the results matter? Because this team, young, inexperienced, first-year head coach, a lot of new players, that pressure amps up when we get to the play-in. That pressure amps up when they play a first-round series against San Antonio. Different than playing San Antonio the 4 times you played them in the regular season. The first 2 of which you beat them. The last time you should have beat them. Pressure's different. You cannot go into the play-in, into that series with San Antonio, lacking confidence. So did the results matter? Or is it all just about health? If we get to the end of the year and they go into the play-in, Dillon Brooks is available, Mark Williams is available, Grayson Allen is available, Royce O'Neal is available, Devin Booker's still healthy, Jalen Green's still healthy. Everybody's healthy going into the playoffs. Does it matter how they get there? Does it matter what these final 10 games look like if they're healthy? Or do the results matter? I would argue to you, this young team, this inexperienced team, this team that has a first-year head coach, they need confidence going into their play-in matchup either against LA or Portland, and hopefully a inevitable matchup with the San Antonio Spurs. I think confidence matters more than health. Now, you can build that confidence by these guys being healthy and playing in these games. We remind everybody of this statistic all the time on the show. The handful of games that Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and Dillon Brooks have played together. Every rep that those 3 can get together in the regular season is only going to help them build that chemistry and build that confidence. And it's funny how we're at this stage of the season, 72 games in, and we're saying that those 3 don't have chemistry together because they haven't played a lot together. So yes, health is important. They can't beat San Antonio without the 4 guys that are currently out. They're going to have a tough time against LA or Portland if they don't have those 4 guys. They've shown that to you over the last week or so. So yes, the health is important. But boy, I would want this team confident because you've seen it over the last week. One loss spirals them. Now, maybe it's a chicken and the egg conversation. It spirals them because they don't have Dillon Brooks and Mark Williams and all these guys on the floor, and so they feel helpless, or they just feel like they don't have the guys. And so maybe just getting those guys back stops that stuff from happening. But I would want this team confident going in to the play-in tournament rather than just saying, these next 10 games, they don't matter. Who cares about the results? Who cares? Just get healthy. I think it's a little more than that. I think you need to see some good results. You know what? You got to beat Utah. You have to win that game. Dallas, you have to beat them. Those winnable games, the games against teams that are out of it, against teams that are tanking, you just have to win those games.
You start losing those games, you're going to lose a lot of confidence. A lot of confidence going into the play-in.
I'm sorry, you got to beat Memphis. You got to beat Utah. You got to beat Memphis. You got to beat Charlotte. You got to beat Chicago. I mean, you just have to beat those teams.
And you're not asking much.
I'm asking you to beat Utah, who is the 5th worst team in the NBA.
Correct.
One of the 5 teams that are already eliminated from the postseason. I'm asking you to beat Memphis, who is 22 games below 500. I'm asking you to beat Chicago, who is 28-42, about to be eliminated from the postseason, basically. And I'm asking you to beat Dallas, who is 23-48. That's what I'm asking you to do. How many games is that? Utah, Memphis, Chicago, Dallas. I'm asking you to win at least 4 games of these final 10 and then pick off a couple. Can you give me 500? Can you give me 6-4 in these final 10 games? You're going to face Oklahoma City. They're not playing for anything. I mean, they technically can lose the 1 seed. They only have a 3-game lead, but they've won 11 in a row. Oklahoma City cannot be stopped right now. So it's a little more than just, hey, you know what? Forget that you lost to San Antonio in the fourth quarter. Forget that you lost to Minnesota in the fourth quarter. Forget that you lost to Milwaukee, who's tanking. Forget that you blew a lead with 5 minutes to go in Boston in which you didn't make a shot. Forget all of that. Just get healthy. It's not that easy. They have to be playing well going into the play-in. Now, I think they'll play well as these guys come back, as these guys are healthy. And I know I said last week, don't rush these guys back. But, man, if you can just get a little bit of time with Dylan Brooks back in the lineup, a little bit of time with Mark Williams, a little bit of time with Grayson Allen, just so their first game back isn't the play-in, and you can have at least some good results going into the postseason, 6-4 in the final 10, 7-3 in the final 10, that's good enough for me to say, hey, they're healthy, they're playing well going in, that 5-game losing streak is well a thing of the past. I said it in the open, I'm not willing to just forget about last week. You got to make me forget about last week. You can get healthy, yes, that's important. That's going to determine whether or not you could pull an upset in the first round against San Antonio. But you also have to make me forget about last week. And 1 game against Toronto isn't going to do it.
Not at all.
You've got 10 games to make me forget about what happened last week. The worst losing streak you've had all year, coming at probably the worst possible time. You've got 10 games to make that a forgotten memory. A thing that when it comes to playing the Clippers or Portland, doesn't even come up. Oh, they're playing great coming into this game. They're healthy coming into this game. You don't even remember that they lost 5 in a row a couple of weeks ago. But they've got to do that over these final 10 games. It's up to them. Starts tomorrow against Denver.
Got to be just build confidence.
Yep.
Right. That's what it's all about. It's the name of the game here at the end.
480-864-1060 is the phone number if you want to weigh in on what you'd like to see the Suns do over these final 10 games of the regular season. You can also chat away with us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, it is the offense that might need to carry the early load for the Diamondbacks. We'll talk about it next. The lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. is MMA Friday on the Sports Zoo with official UFC ranker Scott Lewis, brought to you by RTO Sullivan's, your home for every UFC event. The Sports Zoo is the only show in the Valley that gives you 1 full hour of MMA every week, featuring Scott Lewis's official UFC ranking changes, fight predictions for every weekly event, shocking MMA stories, and more. So tune in every Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. and then head to RTO Sullivan's every Saturday to watch the fights. Go to RTOSullivans.com for a location near you.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
It's the spectacular return of Bruce Springsteen and the legendary E Street Band. Land of Hope and Dreams American Tour. Live at Mortgage Matchup Center, April 16th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. An unforgettable night with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. For more, visit BruceSpringsteen.net.
At the Phoenix Zoo, we are scaly things and furry things. We are fast things and slow things. Tall things and short things. We are huge things and very, very small things. We are things from right here in Arizona and things from all over the world. We are thousands of living, breathing mammals, reptiles, birds, insects, fish, and amphibians that you absolutely have to see. Phoenix Zoo, that zoo we are. For tickets, hours, and many more things, visit phoenixzoo.org.
Your dental health affects your whole body's wellness. Got a broken tooth or need a crown? At Arizona Crown Center, you can expect care focused on crowns and bridges for just $6.99 per tooth, including your x-ray. That's less than half the usual cost. With Arizona Crown Center, expect top quality, efficient treatment backed by a 3-year unconditional guarantee, and even same-day service. They keep it simple and affordable, so you can enjoy the foods you love without worry. Plus, their friendly team makes every visit comfortable and easy. Whether it's your first crown or replacing an old one, they personalize your care to fit you. That's something to really smile about. Don't live with discomfort. Visit azcrowncenter.com for your free consultation today. Serving the Valley for over 20 years with offices in Chandler, Surprise, and Prescott. Get premium dental crowns and bridges at a price that fits your budget. azcrowncenter.com. That's azcrowncenter.com. Your smile's best friend.
Have you tried my Colombian tamales?
Yes, but the Mexican tamales I brought are way better.
Colombian tamales wrapped in plantain leaves are unmatched, you know.
But the Mexican tamales wrapped in corn husks are the authentic ones.
At least we can agree that they taste better with Pepsi.
Without a doubt, tamales deserve Pepsi. No matter what tamales you love, enter for a chance to win a year's worth of groceries. Powered by Pepsi. No purchase necessary. U.S. residents 18 or over. Ends April 5th, 2026. Rules at pepsipromo.com/free groceries. Pepsi is a registered trademark of PepsiCo.
With a Global credit card, you earn reward points for every purchase. Use your rewards at checkout at many of your favorite stores. Or use points instead of cash when you shop online. You can even use them to book a flight up to 3 days in advance. New York, Vegas, Albuquerque. From groceries to getaways, redeem your way. Apply for your Global credit card now at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
I'm not here to bury Mike Tomlin, but the fact is, this absolutely is the right move. He did the right thing, and he fired himself. All good things come to an end. Going a decade without winning a single playoff game is not meeting the standard.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
I think it is the offense that needs to carry the way for the Diamondbacks when their season gets underway on Thursday against the Dodgers. And I think they are going to need to score their way out of trouble. Offense creates margin for error, right? Having an offense that is able to put up runs allows you to get by when a starter has a rough outing or a bullpen blows a game. If you have an offense that is trustworthy, is reliable, is consistent, seemingly always comes through, you're able to make up for a day where your starter just doesn't have it. Or when you have the most blown saves in Major League Baseball, I think the Diamondbacks were number 2 in that stat last year, right? A great offense, a good offense, creates the margin for error when those things happen. And when you look at all 3 phases of the Diamondbacks, lineup, starting pitching, and bullpen, the lineup is the one group that is pretty much to a T exactly how you thought it was going to be when spring started. Corbin Carroll's going to be in there. Geraldo Perdomo's going to be in there. Ketel Marte, Gabby Moreno are going to be in there. Your 2 veterans, Carlos Santana and Nolan Arenado, they're there. Jordan Lawler's going to play out there in center field. You've got Alec Thomas who's going to play. You've got everybody. The offense that you thought you were going to have when spring started, the one that you would put down on paper, is the one you're going to have. You can't say that about the starting rotation. Merrill Kelly's going to be out. You can't necessarily say that about the bullpen because you have a bunch of guys who made the team that in some cases weren't there when you started spring. So the group that is the strongest, the group that is in the best position to get off to a good start is your offense because it looks exactly the way that it is supposed to. And I know that puts a lot of pressure on what we have dubbed, we stole this from the 90s Yankees, the core 4. Marte, Carroll, Perdomo, Gabby Moreno, right? Those 4 guys being the engine of the offense. Those 4 guys are available. Gabby Moreno, there was an injury scare over the weekend, a couple of home runs. He's good. He's fine. Geraldo Perdomo looked great in the WBC. Corbin Carroll hitting the ball extremely hard coming off of the surgery. That side of the ball is about as pristine as it can be right now for this team. And that is what is going to create the margin for error while your bullpen kind of figures itself out. While you get by a turn, maybe 2 turns with Merrill Kelly's sideline. While you let your starters ramp up, right? Because these starters, they're not going to be able to give you 7 innings right away. They're going to be on a pitch limit early on, which is not going to allow them to go deep into games. And so what's going to allow you to create that margin for error so that you can win games when not everything is going your way? It's the offense. If you don't have a great offense, but you have 5 really good starters, right? This is Pittsburgh's problem this year. Pittsburgh has one of the best rotations in baseball. Top to bottom, they've got an ace in Paul Skeens. They're deep 1 through 5. Their problem is going to be, their starters are going to be able to throw up zeros. But if they give up 1 or 2 runs, do they have the offense to win a game 3-2? That's the real question about Pittsburgh. The margin for error is, can the pitching be lights out? Because they don't have the offense that a team like the Diamondbacks has on paper. The Diamondbacks, they don't have a rotation that you know is going to be able to post 6, 7 and throw up a bunch of zeros every single night. You don't know what Ryan Nelson's going to give you this year in a full year of being a starter. You don't know if Brendan Pfaadt has figured out the issues from last year. Eduardo Rodriguez looked great in that WBC game. Is he going to be able to do that over the course of a full regular season? Is it second half Zach Gallen? Is it first half Zach Gallen? What does Merrill Kelly look like when he comes back from this injury? What does Michael Soroka give you? Question marks all over the place for this rotation. You got to create the margin for error. Where do they create the margin for error? With the offense, with those 4 guys at the top that are the engine to this whole thing. So in the early part of the season, if the Diamondbacks are going to have any chance of getting off to a fast start in building that margin for error so that they can get Lourdes Gurriel back, so that they can get Corbin Burns back, so that they can get A.J. Puck back and Justin Martinez back, and for those re-additions to this team to matter, it is going to be on the backs of this offense creating some margin for error. That's the name of the game in baseball, and it is going to fall on this offense to buy time for the bullpen to sort itself out. Buy time for this rotation to settle in, because your lineup, your offense is exactly the way you would want it to be when spring started. The top of the lineup is the 4 guys you would want to have if you could build it from scratch. It's Marte, it's Carroll, it's Perdomo, it's Gabby Moreno. It's the 2 veterans that you're hoping provide at least some value offensively in addition to being great on the defensive side. There is a ton of pressure on this offense because that's where I think they have the most opportunity to build some margin for error.
This offense needs to be not only the catalyst for the first 60 games and the carrier, but it needs to be a top 3 in baseball.
I don't want to go that far.
Okay, that's probably an exaggeration, but it needs to be a top 5 offense in baseball for them probably to continually compete, and they have that capability.
I think
it's not impossible for that to happen.
Until we get a couple of turns through the rotation and you feel comfortable with what you have there, until we get a month or so into the season and the bullpen has shown enough over a large enough sample size, you're going to have one of the top 5 offenses in the National League, probably one of the top 10 offenses in baseball.
Seemingly, that's the only way to do it.
You have one of the best shortstops in the game who may be a top 3 shortstop by the time the season is over.
Yeah.
You have a top 10 right fielder in Corbin Carroll.
Certainly.
You have the best second baseman in the sport.
Not even close.
From an offensive perspective, you have one of the best catchers in the game. I mean, you've got really talented players at some premium positions.
Can you make them work?
Can this offense do enough? It's a lot of pressure. I get it. And
it's a lot of pressure on those guys specifically.
And even if they're top 5 in the National League, top 10 in baseball, the bullpen may just be a disaster.
Could be a complete disaster, and you could be blowing saves left and right, and it may not matter.
It may not matter.
A top 5 offense, and you still might not be.
But
great.
if they're going to get off to the hot start, I think it's going to be on the backs of the bats. It is going to be the bats buying time for the pitching to catch up. It's going to be on the bats buying time for the rotation to settle, for Merrill Kelly to come back, for Corbin Burns to come back, for the bullpen to fall into these designated roles and then get A.J. Puck back, right? That's what it's going to take. The offense, because the offense has all their guys. There's no major injuries to the lineup like there is to no Corbin Burns, no Merrill Kelly, like there is no A.J. Puck, no Justin Martinez. The lineup is as designed. The way Mike Hazen wants it, it's there. There's no ifs. So now it's just about going out and executing, and hopefully those 4 guys at the top can live up to the back of their baseball cards. Because if they do, it's going to be a pretty good offense.
It's going to be a pretty good offense.
And I think it's going to be enough to buy this team the wiggle room for everything else to catch up. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've got one more before we hand things off to Jim Rome at the top of the hour. It is all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. Call them the leftovers. We will get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Midweek ASU baseball right here on KDUS AM 1060. Join the Sun Devils this Wednesday as they look to take on New Mexico State. Head coach Willie Bloomquist knows how to get the most from his team and looks to earn ASU another win. Join the voice of the Sun Devils, Tim Healy, on the call live. It's ASU versus New Mexico State this Wednesday evening. Pregame at 6:15 p.m. and first pitch at 6:35 right here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS app.
John Mellencamp. Dancing Words Tour, the greatest hit. August 9th. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. John Mellencamp. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hey, it's Bodie and Victoria, owners of newacunit.com, where homeowners save 50% off or more on new AC units.
You're probably wondering, if I buy a new AC unit online, who's coming to install it?
Or am I about to get upsold once they show up?
Those are fair questions.
At newacunit.com, we only use hand-selected top-rated installers.
And the price you see online, that's the price. No surprises.
Get your price in minutes at newacunit.com.
Save thousands, save time. Buy online. UACunit.com.
The Renaissance Festival is back, weekends now through March 29th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. Visit now through March 29th. Discount tickets available at Bashas' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashas', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
Come see us at Mark Kia just off the 101 in Indian School. Right now, receive 0% APR for up to 72 months on a brand new 2025 Kia EV6. You heard right, 0%. And at Mark Kia, what you see is what you get. We have transparent pricing with no hidden fees or unnecessary dealer add-ons. Go to markkia.com right now, where you'll find all the tools you need to complete your entire deal online.
The name to remember? Mark Kia.
Offer through Kia Motors Finance. Offer expires March 31st, 2026.
KDUS AM 1060 is your home for the Jim Rome Show.
Indiana is not cheating. Lining up and punching the other guy in the face for 60 minutes, not against the rules. I challenge any of you social media whistleblowers to tell Kurt Signetti to his face that he is a cheater.
The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, here on KDUS AM 1060. Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up today's edition of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert, producer Evan, hanging out with you. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's all the stories we didn't get to here today on the program. It is the leftovers, and we've got leftovers music now.
I kind of forgot that we have leftovers music now.
So we'll see. We'll take this out for a spin. We'll see how this works.
I'm excited about the leftovers music.
Well, I mean, earlier we added new music, and it caused a huge problem over on the YouTube side of
things. It did. So
Brian was not happy.
Hopefully Brian likes
it. Hopefully Brian's okay with this
one. Jackson Smith and Jigba signs a 4-year, $168 million extension with the Seahawks. Includes a $120 million guarantee.
Excuse me?
JSN signed a $168 million 4-year deal with the Seahawks. 120 of that is guaranteed.
That's a lot of money.
The NFL's highest paid receiver.
He was so good last year, man.
He was unbelievable.
He was amazing. I mean, he was just so good for what they were trying to do. Sam Darnold was just awesome. And he got paid a lot of money. But you know what my immediate reaction was to this today? We're not even close to having that conversation about Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, that was the first thing you said to me in the morning meeting.
We're not even close.
Yeah, it's bad. You mentioned it earlier, but Seiya Suzuki will start the year for the Cubs on the injured list. He got hurt in the WBC and will not be available for the foreseeable start to the season.
Yeah, I am suspicious of their ability to win that division. And it's just a question of the offense for them, and not having him is going to be a huge blow.
Huge blow.
I know Milwaukee got rid of Freddie Peralta, but they've got a really
They're
good,
always in it.
I
right?
know, but
Like,
they just have a good core nucleus on offense. They have a great manager. I think their bullpen's still really good. So I'm still in on Milwaukee.
yeah, they're always in it. An update on the WBC's largest story. Randy Arozarena has apologized to Cal Raleigh over their spat.
I mean, they've got to be teammates this year. You kind of assume this would have happened sooner rather than later.
And again, I stand on the side of listen, should Cal Raleigh have probably shook his hand? Yes. I think that's a little ridiculous.
It was a little lame from Cal and from Team USA to have that approach. I think it was lame.
For Randy Arozarena, there's a few rules on any team. You can't go out there and publicly bash your best player.
No, and
you just can't do it.
And not your teammate. You just can't. He's
Can't
your
do
teammate.
it. Can't do it. Can't do it. If you are the best player and you were getting on somebody, okay. If you are not the best player, getting on the best player, problem. It's a problem. And it's not, you're not getting on him for hustle or something that's going to better the team. No. That's yeah.
Can I have the breaking news sounder, please?
Oh, of course you can.
This is very important. Very important. This is deserving of the breaking news sound.
I'm sorry, you.
No, I know you were not prepared for this. You don't know what I'm about to say either.
No, I have no idea.
You're not ready. Sources close to me tell me that within the next hour, ASU will announce their new head basketball coach. I don't have the name. Can't share the name.
Was that our source?
Sources close to me tell me that within the next hour, we will know who the next ASU men's basketball.
And you're breaking that.
I'm breaking that, yes. And within the next hour, we will know who this is.
Wow.
That's all I can say right now.
Local guy?
I don't usually do the breaking news thing here, but
do you know who it is?
I have been told by. Listen, I'm not gonna go into what information I know or do not know. I'm just telling everybody that within the next hour.
I was gonna give
you
a list of names and say who you think is most likely.
No, that's a dangerous game that we're playing. I don't want to, because I don't want my facial expressions to be read on the YouTube of whether or not I've given it away or not.
And I know what everybody's thinking. Congratulations. He's leaving UConn in the middle of the season.
Yes.
He's hired Danny Hurley.
Yes. He's not even going to coach the remainder of the tournament.
The tournament, yeah.
After
he's hanging it in. He loves it.
They parted ways with his brother. That he's decided, you know what, I'm going to go fix ASU basketball. But no, within the next hour, we will know who the next ASU men's basketball coach is. Okay, you can continue with the leftovers.
By the way, how awesome, speaking of Danny Hurley, how awesome was that UCLA game? The refs hate that UConn-UCLA game.
Yeah, that was... I mean, he's just...
It is awesome.
I love the way he coaches, because you just don't have many coaches in college basketball that coach that way. But boy, does he sometimes get himself in trouble with his antics. I mean, what was it? It was just a couple of weeks ago. He got tossed for bumping the official.
And Mick Cronin.
I mean, he's one of one on the other side. I mean, that was a coaching battle that when you're the referees and you draw that assignment, you're like, oh, God.
And did you see, somebody asked Mick Cronin what he thought about it? And he said, people need to get a life. If you're not passionate about what you do. Or something. I think it was the middle of the regular season. He got on a reporter for asking a question. Yeah.
He's
awesome. They're both awesome.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I would describe Mick Cronin as awesome. I don't know if I would go that far. But there you have it.
That game was awesome.
We debut the new music in the leftovers, and we break news.
What a day.
What a day. We'll have a new basketball coach to react to tomorrow on the program. We'll also get
Is
you
that
ready.
the daily special?
Maybe. We'll get you ready for Suns against the Nuggets. Want to talk a little Jordan Lawler tomorrow as the baseball season ramps up. Jim Rome is coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everyone, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX